What up, YouTube? Big TL Heavy Bag. Brian Norman Jr. Brian Norman Jr. Let's keep it funky. Brian Norman Jr. wasn't supposed to win. It was a handful. And when I say a handful of people, it was a handful of people who actually thought that Brian Norman Jr. would beat Giovanni Santillan. Shout out Mark Nash TV, who won money on that fight. Shout out Brian Norman Sr., who I've had the pleasure on several occasions now to be on the same talking panel via Mark Nash TV and pick his brain about his son, Brian Norman Jr., who I do believe is such a versatile fighter and has the goods to, be a problem in the sport of boxing. I think he proved that with his outstanding performance versus Giovanni Santillan. Again, something that you just didn't see coming. A lot of people felt Brian Norman Jr. was going to be a stepping stone for Giovanni Santillan to continue his rise, I believe, at 32 years old, and to try and push for bigger fights. But it didn't work out that way. Oh, they upset that boy in his own backyard. And the manner, the fashion that B. Norman was able to do it was incredible, was remarkable. By far his best win to date, and to become a world champion, an interim world champion in a process is completely amazing. Congratulations to those guys, man. It's just, I can only imagine what they're going through. And big shout out to Senior, man, who I just admire. You know what I mean? I admire this brother because of what he's been able to pour into his son. Being a father of a son myself, I can only hope to bring my son to a height that we both can be proud of. And him taking the baton from other father-son duos and trying to run with it, man, it's been amazing to watch. And even more to be a part in a very small way of their support system. Like I said, it's only a handful of people who actually picked Brian Norman Jr. to win that fight. But what's next for Brian Norman Jr.? That's the question. I think it's time for us to really shine a light on Brian Norman Jr. I think this guy is, the versatility is crazy. Senior told me in an interview prior to the fight that he wanted that they would beat Giovanni Santillan at his own game and their game, which they was able to pull off. And I don't want to say it was effortlessly, but the amount of success that he had versus Giovanni Santillan, the way he was able to figure him out and ultimately get the knockout was incredible. From the Quentin Randalls to your boy, man. You just seen the growth in Brian Norman Jr. Now, of course, he's campaigning at 47. He has an interim belt now at 47. So the name's going to be Boots. Of course, Bud Crawford still has 3 belts there. He is the WBO champion. But you want to continue to see Brian Norman continue to develop a little bit more, in my opinion, with some subpar fights, with some gatekeeper type fights, but names nonetheless, right? And I don't want to seem like I'm trying to downplay where he is, because listen, anytime you got one of those scraps around your waist at any level in the sport of boxing, that's saying something. That's a statement. But to have the WBO interim is crazy, right? So at this point, I just feel like it's got to be names. And when I say subpar, or I mean like gatekeeper names. Say what you will about a Keith Thurman. I just believe he's entered that phase of his career where more than likely he's a gatekeeper. Now he could come back and surprise us, and you may see glimpses of the old one time, but it's got to be against these young boys now. You know what I mean? You have to prove that you're not a gatekeeper. Until then, I feel like you're a gatekeeper. I think that would be a huge, opportunity for a Brian Norman Jr. Maybe a Calvalakis. That's a great name. Mario Barrios. I'm not. I would listen. I would have picked Santillan to beat Barrios, so I wouldn't even, count that out as far as being an option or a fight that they can make and take if your team Brian Norman Jr. When you think about some of the guys that's coming up, Josh Taylor from 47 or from 40 coming up to 47, maybe even. I'm gonna just throw it out there. Devin Haney, he's so big. I'm not sure how long he'll be at 40. Teofimo Lopez, if he wants to position himself to make a real run at 47, if he's having a hard time at 40, and he's expressed interest in fighting Bud Crawford to maybe try and position himself, take a crack at Brian Norman. These are all names that, I do believe Brian Norman Jr. is ready for. And now he's in the spot. I think in the spot that he is in now, again, holding a scrap and interim champ, you have to be ready, right? The phone could ring for any of these guys. So you have to be ready. And I think, you want them to continue to push it, man, push the envelope. Fighting the best. The only time you're gonna actually be the best is if you continuously fighting the best at the end of the day. But I like all of those names. And I give him a great chance versus all of those names. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of these fights are 50-50 fights for me. And you want to see B Norman fight the best, man, and start, working on his legacy, and continuing to knock down walls and barriers in the sport of boxing, as far as his accomplishments go. I like it. I do have part of an interview, like I said, I have with Brian Norman Sr. Shout out Senior, man, who's been so humbled via Mark Nash TV and embracing me, and allowing me to be on the panel with him and ask him certain questions. I did have a couple of post-fight questions that I asked him in this clip I'm going to show you guys as well. And congratulations to Team Brian Norman Jr. Again, it's exciting, man, to see, where this kid can go and if he can be a big part of bringing 47 back. Again, a lot of people feel like 47 now that, so many has left, and you got Bud Crawford more than likely won't return to 47. Depends on how this plays out at 54. Earl Spence is gone. A lot of those notable names at 47 are gone. That generation is gone. You might have an old man, Keith Thurman, left. Hopefully they can make something happen with him. That would be dope, but we'll see. It's a toss-up, and B. Norman Jr. could be a part of the resurgence of 147 pounds, man. Listen, the kid is exciting. He's got a fun style, depending on what style he comes with, because I truly believe this is a kid that can, at 23 years old, that can adapt to pretty much every style out there and give you a really, really good fight. All right, this is me, Mark Nash via Mark Nash TV with Brian Norman Sr. Chopping it up just a little bit. All right, Big T.O. Heavy Bag, I'm out of here.
Just for you, T.O. Heavy Bag Boxing TV. I'm gonna let him go first. Go ahead, T.O.
What up, Coach? Good to see and hear from you again, man.
What's up, man? I appreciate you a supporter, man. I appreciate you, big dog. I appreciate you.
First, I got two questions, and I got a bone to pick. First, I'm gonna pick my bone because I reached out to you after Mark Nash told me to reach out to you. I was trying to support y'all, man, and get that patch.
If you reached out to me, I don't do that, bro. I didn't get it.
You responded, man. I reached out to you. You responded. I was trying to get that patch, man. You told me you'd get back with me, but you didn't. But it's all good.
Come on, bro. Forget shit. Come on, but really.
I was trying to.
I forgot about that shit till you just said it.
Yeah, man, I believe it. But Congratulations again, man. The first question I got for you, man, is you told us straight up out the gate, man, that you wanted to make a statement. I think you did that. When the 9th round rolled around, I would love to know if you can remember what advice you had for him or what you told him in that 9th round. And when you had him in trouble, what was your advice then?
I don't know which round it was. I remember looking at the scorecard of the 9th round. That was actually the only round I turned around and looked at the scorecard. So I saw the 9th.
Yeah.
What did I say? Because I was trying to see how much time I had. He started him in the 10th, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
because I felt like y'all,
one of the other.
You knew you had him in trouble.
I'm about to tell you. So I was torn because again, I knew he could beat him anyway. I didn't like how the crowd. I didn't want to try to have shit to cheer about. So I didn't like how the crowd had anything to cheer about. And we talked about this from the very beginning. I was like, look, B, because I seen Gio get beat before, but they robbed the guy. So I said, look, B, I don't even want this motherfucker throwing punches. I don't even want a chance. So I was torn because he was fucking him up, clearly. And so I looked at the round because I was like, how many rounds do we got? Like, how long is he going to be able to take this shit? You feel me?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure exactly which round, but I think the 10th round, I can't tell you the 9th. The 10th round, what I told him was, we knew this too. He has no fangsters, which is why I told Piro, and I asked Piro, and Piro had nothing to say. I said, what does he do better than my son? I listen, as a coach, as a perfectionist, it's my job to do that. It's my job to know his strengths and know his weaknesses. It's my job to know that.
Yes, sir.
So I'm looking at it, and I was like, what the fuck? This is my asking myself, fuck Piro. Not fuck Piro, but I'm saying fuck what I asked Piro, but I'm saying. So I was like, what does he do better than my son? Listen. So I'm like, no, no disrespect, we're cool. So I was like, damn, he doesn't do anything better. So I said, look, B, he done. He's done coming forward. He's done with that retarded ass style we've been seeing this whole time. He's done with them fake ass. I told you last night. I knew him. I said he's not doing any of that anymore. So right now you have a different fighter in front of you. You have a different fighter in front of you in a championship fight. He's never been there before. That fighter that you have in there with you now has never been in the ring before. That fighter that's backing up, that fighter that don't know how to slip punches. That fighter don't know how to counter punch. That fighter don't know how to do shit. So I know for a fact in the 10th round, I said, listen, you have a dead man walking in front of you. Go in, bro. You know he left on the stretcher, right?
Oh no, he did.
I can imagine.
What?
Yeah, he went.
Okay. Let me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now prayers up to him. We ain't gonna do it like that.